Hi everyone, my name is Fathul Hanif and my topic for this assignment will be an anti-rape campaign in a South African magazine. This advertisement was created by Lobo for the organization of POA, which stands for the People Opposing Women's Abuse. This ad was created in 2003 and I came across it by chance while scrolling through social media. And that's the interesting thing about advertisements, isn't it? That you don't go looking for it, it comes finding you. Now, the premise is simple. The advert takes up a double-page spread dead center in a magazine. The two pages are partially glued together and it showcases a pair of women's legs on a bedsheet that cuts off right before the knee. The fact that the pages are partially glued together means that the reader has to force it open to reveal the entire image. And when they do, they are greeted with a full image of a woman lying in bed, legs spread out. Accompanying the explicit image is a message waiting for the reader at the bottom foreground of this advertisement. And the message reads, "If you have to use force, it's rape." The symmetrical framing of the image along the spine presents a likeness similar to a Wes Anderson film. Despite the light atop the image, the picture remains dark like the topic. The background showing the top half of the woman is slightly blurred, bringing anything from the midground and foreground depicting the bottom half of the woman in focus. Up in the bottom foreground is a powerful message that delivers the impact to the viewer. If you have to use force, it's rape. Clear and simple, and not to mention clever. The message is small, written in caps, bolded and in white, contrasting the dark background behind it. Now, this does well in delivering the message to the audiences without disrupting the total aesthetic of the imagery behind it. And the tone is strict and very personal, as if the reader is being told by the writer, one-to-one on a personal level. Now, following Hall's encoding-decoding theory of this advertisement, there are three different categories: the dominant, oppositional, and the negotiated. For the dominant category, it's obvious that the creator's message here was to put out a form of preventive measure towards men to stop the act of rape or sexual assault, educating readers at face value, especially in South Africa. Now, why South Africa? According to the World Population Review, South Africa has the highest rate of rape in the world, with about 66,200 cases of rape annually. Now, for the oppositional. There are those who are ideologically opposed to this advertisement, and in this case, it will be women, especially those who were victims of rape. Now, according to an article, whether anti-rape campaigns do more harm than good, victims of rape mentioned that the ad triggered them and reminded them of their bad experiences. They also found the ad offensive, vulgar, and suggestive. Feminists and conservatives would also be ideologically opposed to the graphic nature of the image. The fact that an image of a naked lady is used in an advertisement would actually come off as offensive and degrading. And last but not least would be the negotiated category. In this category, these are the people who actually find the advertisement creative and clever, especially in terms of its force factor. However, these people would also be conflicted on whether to like the advertisement due to the graphic image presented. Let's talk about the method. I find that the use of glue to stick the two pages together was really interesting and was referred to as a symbolic act, as readers had to physically force open the magazine, and once they did, the pages were damaged and they can't be put back together. Now, this could be symbolic in the act of rape, where once force is applied, the act is committed and damage is done, and can't be reversed. Now, there are a few things that I find truly impactful of this advertisement. Firstly, the message of it. Anti-rape campaigns are uncommon, but also not unheard of. Secondly, the creative way the advert addresses the topic, engaging the reader to participate by forcing the pages open, rather than the traditional passive role of simply reading. Finally, the strategic placement of the ad in a men's magazine. According to the South African Medical Research Council, men have been identified as the primary perpetrators of rape. So by directly addressing their main target audience, the advertisers are directly confronting the root of the problem. Moving on to the effectiveness, one of the key factors of this advertisement was it being of print nature. By being able to physically hold the pages, rip them apart, and being told about the action of using such force plays a big part on delivering the impact of the advert. When the advertisement was released in 2003, it was before the rapid rise of technology and social media. Print advertising was still the dominant form of media advertising, and magazine readership was still on the rise, which meant that a large number of audiences were still getting their advertisements from all sorts of print medias. This campaign works best in print, but it would lose some of its effectiveness if it was placed in other media forms such as digital, as you would lose that interactivity. It would still be effective, yes, that is how I felt impacted when I came across it through social media, but the extent of its full potential will not be realized. The ad campaign is still relevant in today's day and age. The fact that the advertisement makes viewers uncomfortable, including myself, means that it is working and it is effective. Thank you.